Hey guys, what's up? So today we are taking this boring little space behind the door and making it into something functional. So back here in our entryway, you walk in the door, right? And right off to the side, you have this space that's supposed to be for the kids to play, and stuff has just been dumped everywhere. Keep in mind, we just put away the Christmas tree and there was stuff all up under the Christmas tree that sits in front of this window. Things are falling out of the closet. This is just like not a functional space for us. My kids' coats are piled on the floor because they can't reach up there to put them away. That coat I put up there myself. It's just a mess. And then we have our snow shovel back here because it's constantly falling over. We've got one of the kids' backpacks. The other one's not even back here. It's just a messy area. Let's take this space, which typically doesn't have the bead board, I believe is what it's called, hung up there. It's just a basic wall. My husband has it up there just to see if it'll fit, and it's actually a perfect fit. But we're gonna take this bead board, mount it to the wall, wallpaper the top. We've got some trim to put around and some hooks. It'll be a perfect spot for the kids to hang backpacks and coats after school. And we have a hook to hang our snow shovel. So kind of clean up the space a little bit, make it a bit more functional, and then I can get back here and clean the toys later and put everything back in these boxes where they go. And this all just got dumped out. But my cousin had leftover beadboard when she did her project, gave it to us. We haven't cut any of it. It's just a perfect fit. We got so lucky. But this just goes to show, whenever you're doing home improvement projects, if you have leftover pieces you're gonna get rid of, put them on Facebook, see if somebody you know wants them. It might keep them out of the landfill, and it might help somebody else to do a project and save them a little bit of money. So thank you to my cousin Keisha. And then the wallpaper we're gonna use, I already have on hand as well. So went and picked up some Loctite all-purpose caulking to mount this on the wall, and some penny nails. I'll show those in a minute. We got our trim we picked up at the store. Let's go ahead and get started. So to start things off here, I am just taking my caulk, which is in my caulking gun, and I'm just going to put some caulk on the back of this beadboard. That way it can be mounted to the wall. And now it's time to bring in the beadboard and get it mounted to the wall. Like I mentioned earlier, we didn't have to cut anything off of this. It was pretty much a perfect fit, but it was a very snug fit. So once I get it on the wall, I do go ahead and get a rubber mallet, and because hitting it with my hands was not doing the trick, I use a rubber mallet to help push it in closer to the wall and fill in those gaps so that there's no more space. And then I do believe I realized that I did not get it all the way to the baseboard. I might have to pull it off. Yep, there we go. Had to pull it off and readjust it. But anyway, rubber mallet. That way it wouldn't damage the beadboard any, and it would help push everything into the wall. You don't want to use a real hammer on this because it will damage your beadboard. Okay, now my husband's going to come in here with some white penny nails or white finishing nails, however you want to call them. And he's going to put a few of these into the beadboard just to give it extra security in the wall. And yes, he does use a regular hammer for this. At least I think he does. We'll see here in a minute. I don't think he used the rubber mallet on that. But he was very gentle not to damage the beadboard while doing this. And I did have to go back and clean a few spots with it's a regular hammer. But I did have to go back and clean some spots up with like baby wipes. But it came off pretty easily. It probably could use a little bit of a touch up with white paint, but I've yet to do that. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the top trim piece, and I've already got some caulking on it, so we're just going to push it into the wall really good and kind of hold it there for a few seconds to like make sure it takes, and also make sure it's pretty well leveled off. There I am just kind of cleaning up some bits of caulk that kind of came off on the underside there. And then I believe my husband came in later and screwed it back in place. And then we'll get on to the hooks and whatnot. Yes, and then here I am cleaning the wall. Again, I just used baby wipes, and it took all of the marks off that the regular hammer and that the rubber mallet made. The rubber mallet made more marks than the regular hammer. Again, there's probably a few spots that I could touch up with some paint, but I haven't done that yet. I don't know that I will. And here's our backpack wall. A couple of months later, we made this back in like January, I believe. It is now almost June, and it held up really well for the rest of the school year. It made for a great spot for the kids to hang coats, jackets, backpacks. It's worked out really well. We've got a dog leash up here right now. Unfortunately, this hook did not work for the snow shovel. Yeah, that hook did not work for the snow shovel, unfortunately, but it worked well for our broom, which is a good place to put that. It's always kind of in the way. We do have 3 hooks back here. We could have done 4 of them. Had we not done the broom hook, we could have done 4 hooks back here, but I only have 2 kids, so this works out perfectly for us. My husband did screw in screws on either end to make sure this would not fall off. I wish he would have just used nails. My husband is in love with screws. I swear he puts them in everything. I'm lucky I got the penny nails down here. See these areas I could have easily paint over and probably hide it, because even though the nails come in white, when you hammer them in, it kind of takes the paint off, and then you see that they're silver. And then we picked up this piece of trim from, I believe, Menards, and it's just pretty and decorative, and it kind of fills the gap between this trim piece and the beadboard. And then you'll notice that I never wallpapered, and that's because the wallpaper I had on hand, I did not have enough. I thought I had like 2 or 3 sheets of it left. I did not have near enough. So I have not looked into wallpaper for this. Maybe I should. I think it would look cute in the space, but I've yet to get around to doing that like at all. But I think it looks really good, and I am very happy with it. And then I also did get the spot back here cleaned up for the most part. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it has been, or than it was in the beginning of the video. We got a lot of this picked up. We moved a lot of the toys, yada yada. Stuff is in the closet where it should be now. We're looking good. So that is everything for our DIY backpack wall. I hope you guys did enjoy watching. The hooks, again, are from Menards as well. I think we got them from Menards. Yeah, we got them at Menards. So they weren't too expensive, a couple dollars a piece. And it's been a super functional space for the kids' backpacks and coats. It was great this winter. If you have a space like this that's just kind of like a dead spot, consider doing something like this. It was super easy. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to catch you in the next one.